Supreme Commander Kayla approached and bowed her head. Your Majesty, the preliminary reports show these humans possess no telepathic abilities, no energy manipulation, and minimal space travel capabilities, yet they have survived numerous extinction-level events and continue to thrive. Zara turned her iridescent body, shifting colors from royal purple to curious gold. How fascinating, she said. Prepare a delegation. I wish to meet these resilient creatures myself. The Zolorians were the most advanced species in their known universe. Standing 9 feet tall with 4 arms and color-changing skin, they had evolved beyond most biological limitations. Female Zolorians dominated their society, with males being rare and primarily valued for reproduction. Their empire spanned 7 galaxies, with most species immediately surrendering upon first contact. The royal shuttle descended through Earth's atmosphere, landing in an open field outside a small town in the American Midwest. Local authorities had been notified of their arrival, though most humans remained skeptical about actual aliens visiting Earth. Sam Wilson worked as a mechanical engineer in the nearby military research facility. When reports came in about an alien landing, he was selected as part of the welcome team, not because of any diplomatic experience, but because he had designed containment systems in case things went wrong. Sam carried a small device in his pocket that could theoretically disable any energy weapons within a 100-yard radius. His superiors had little faith in peaceful first contact. The massive shuttle door opened with a soft hiss. As Sam watched alongside military personnel and government officials, a ramp extended and several tall alien figures emerged. The humans gasped collectively at the sight of the 9-foot-tall 4-armed beings with their shifting skin tones. Zara stepped forward, her royal attire flowing around her impressive form. Her skin glowed with a deliberate, calming blue. As she assessed the primitive beings before her, through her translator implant she spoke, "Greetings, people of Earth. I am Queen Zara of the Zolorian Empire. We come to study your world, General." Patricia Holt stepped forward as the designated human. "Representative, we welcome you to Earth, Queen Zara," she said with practiced diplomacy. "We hope this meeting begins a peaceful relationship between our worlds." Sam stood back, observing the aliens with professional curiosity. Unlike his colleagues who seemed intimidated, he found himself fascinated by their biology and technology. As an engineer, he couldn't help but analyze the composition of their shuttle, the material of their clothing, and the devices they carried. His mind raced with questions about how everything worked. What he didn't realize was that while Zolorians couldn't read human minds directly, they were highly sensitive to neural activity. Zara detected his intense analytical focus and turned her attention toward him. She pointed one of her forearms in his direction. "You there with the active mind, step forward." Sam froze as all eyes turned to him. General Holt gave him a warning look, but he had no choice but to comply. He approached the alien queen, stopping at a respectful distance. "Yes, Your Majesty," he said, trying to remember proper royal etiquette. "You observe with purpose, not fear." Zara stated, "You seek to understand rather than defend." "Interesting. Just curious by nature," Sam replied honestly. "I'm an engineer. I like figuring out how things work. A problem solver." Zara said, her skin rippling with patterns of interest. "Such minds are valuable. We shall speak more later." The initial meeting continued with diplomatic exchanges. General Holt invited the Zolorian delegation to the military facility where accommodations had been prepared. Sam returned to his workshop, trying to focus on his regular duties, but found himself distracted by thoughts of the aliens. Their technology was centuries beyond human capabilities, though. Could Earth possibly offer such an advanced civilization? Later that evening, as Sam worked late in his lab, the door opened. Zara herself entered, accompanied by just 2 guards. Sam immediately stood, knocking over his chair in surprise. "Your Majesty," he stammered, "I wasn't expecting." The human called Sam. Zara stated, "I wish to continue our conversation without the politics and posturing." She gestured for her guards to wait outside, then approached his workbench. "What are you creating?" Sam hesitated, before showing her the device he was developing. "It's a more efficient energy converter," he explained. It can take multiple power sources and regulate output to prevent surges or failures. Zara examined the device with her upper set of hands. Very practical, she commented. Your species focuses on physical solutions because you lack telepathic abilities, yet you achieve remarkable results through mechanical means. Is that unusual? Sam asked. Most species we encounter developed mental manipulation before mastering physical technology, Zara explained. This different evolutionary path makes humans unique. Your minds work differently. Over the next few hours, Sam found himself engaged in the most fascinating technical discussion of his life. Zara, despite being royalty, had extensive knowledge of sciences and engineering. She explained concepts that would revolutionize human technology if they could be implemented. Sam shared human approaches to problem solving that surprisingly intrigued the Queen. When Zara finally prepared to leave, she paused. You will continue assisting with my research into human ingenuity, she declared. It was not a request. For the next several weeks, Sam found himself regularly summoned to meet with Queen Zara. What began as technical exchanges gradually became broader discussions of culture, philosophy, and personal experiences. Sam learned that Zalorian society was highly structured, with rigid castes and predetermined roles. Zara seemed particularly interested in human concepts of personal choice and individual freedom. During one evening conversation, Sam asked, "Why are you really here? Your civilization clearly doesn't need anything." From Earth, Zara was silent for a moment, her skin shifting through thoughtful patterns. Of blue and green resources are not the only valuable discoveries in the universe. Sam Wilson. Sometimes perspective is worth more than minerals or technology. As diplomatic relations progressed, Earth governments grew increasingly concerned about Silurian intentions. Their ships remained in orbit, their technology far beyond anything humans could challenge. Military leaders, including General Holt, pressed for access to Zalorian weapons technology, while politicians sought trade agreements. Sam found himself in an unexpected position as Zara's unofficial human consultant. She seemed to value his input on how proposals might be received by humans. He tried to advocate for Earth's interests while helping the Queen understand human motivations. One night, after a particularly tense negotiation session, Zara requested Sam's presence on her shuttle. When he arrived, she dismissed her attendance. "Your leaders fear us," she stated. "They fear what they don't understand." Sam admitted, "And what they can't control. Our history is full of stronger powers exploiting weaker ones. We project our own behavior onto you." "Logical," Zara replied, her skin darkening. "Yet limiting Zalorians do not think as humans do. Perhaps that's why I'm here," Sam suggested, "to help bridge that gap." Zara moved closer to him, studying his face with her 6 eyes. "You speak truth without fear," she said. "Such honesty is rare, even among my own kind." Something changed between them in that moment. A connection formed that transcended species and status. Sam realized with alarm that he was developing feelings for the alien Queen, a notion so absurd he could barely acknowledge it. What he didn't know was that Zara too was experiencing unfamiliar emotions. Zalorian reproduction was a clinical process, without pair bonding. The concept of romantic attachment was foreign to their biology, yet she found herself drawn to this human in ways that confused her royal advisors. As weeks turned to months, the Zalorian presence on Earth expanded research. Outposts were established, cultural exchanges began. Some humans welcomed the advanced visitors, while others protested the growing influence of aliens in human affairs. Sam became known as the human who had the Queen's ear, a position that brought both opportunity and danger. Government agencies pressed him for information, while anti-alien groups threatened him as a species traitor. He navigated these complicated waters while trying to maintain his integrity. What no one suspected, not even Sam himself, was that Queen Zara had selected him for a purpose beyond diplomacy. Zalorian royalty required genetic diversity to maintain the strength of bloodlines. For centuries, they had incorporated compatible DNA from conquered species. Sam, with his unusual neural patterns and adaptive thinking, represented a potential evolutionary advantage. Zara kept this knowledge to herself as she continued to evaluate him. She had not yet decided whether humans would become allies, partners, or subjects, of the Zalorian Empire. Their fate might well depend on the connection forming between a queen from the stars and an engineer from Earth. Meanwhile, in deep space, the main Zalorian fleet awaited their queen's command. Their weapons could reduce Earth to molten rock in minutes, or their technology could elevate humanity to the stars. The future balanced on a razor edge as two worlds and two hearts from different galaxies drew ever closer together. Now let me create part 2. 3 months after the Zalorians' first arrival on Earth, Sam found himself living in two worlds. By day, he continued his work at the research facility, though his role had shifted to liaison between human scientists and the alien visitors. By night, he often joined Queen Zara, learning about Zalorian culture while sharing human perspectives. The boundaries between professional obligation and personal connection grew, increasingly blurred. General Holt summoned Sam to a classified meeting in an underground bunker beneath the facility. "We need to know their weaknesses," she stated bluntly. "These negotiations can't continue with them." Holding all the power, Sam shifted, uncomfortably. "They're not here to conquer us. If they wanted that, they could have done it immediately." The general leaned forward, her expression hard. "How can you be so certain, Wilson? You spend too much time with the alien queen. Your objectivity is compromised because I've earned her trust," Sam replied, "and I won't betray that. But I can tell you they're genuinely interested in humans. Our adaptability fascinates them." The military and intelligence officials exchanged skeptical glances. "We have reports of Zalorians collecting human genetic samples," the general continued. "Is this true?" Sam hesitated. "They're studying all Earth life forms, including us. It's scientific research, not a weapon program, but it could become one." Dr. Linda Foster, the lead government scientist, interjected. "We need to understand their biology as thoroughly as they understand ours." "Can you obtain tissue samples from the Queen?" Sam stood up abruptly. "No, I won't spy for you. These requests will destroy any chance of peaceful relations." He turned to leave. Wilson, the general, called after him. "Your loyalty should be to your species." "It is," Sam replied. "But starting an interstellar war won't help humanity." That night in his apartment, Sam paced nervously. The government wanted him to betray Zara's trust. Yet he wasn't naive enough to believe Earth should simply surrender all caution. The power imbalance between the species was real and concerning. His secure communication device beeped with a message from the royal shuttle Zara requested. His presence immediately unusual for this hour. Sam gathered his things, wondering what could be so urgent. The shuttle was eerily quiet when he arrived. Most of the Zalorian attendants were absent. Zara waited in her private chamber, her skin cycling through troubled patterns of dark blue and purple. "You're concerned," Sam observed after the door closed behind him. The Queen turned, all 6 eyes focusing on him. "My advisors have recommended terminating diplomatic relations with Earth." Sam's heart raced. "What? Why?" "They believe humans are too unpredictable, too divided in purpose," Zara explained. "Some of your military leaders plan to steal our technology. Others seek biological weapons against us. Many fear us without cause." Sam couldn't deny the accusations. "How do you know this?" "We monitor communications," Zara stated matter-of-factly. "Not individual thoughts, but broadcast frequencies and secured channels. Your governments discuss us constantly, rarely with unified purpose." "So what happens now?" Sam asked, dreading the answer. The Queen moved closer, her tall form towering over him. Yet there was no threat in her posture. "I have not agreed with their assessment," she said softly. "I find value where they see only risk because of our resources." "No," Zara replied. "Because of you." Sam blinked in surprise. "Me? You represent what fascinates me about humans," Zara explained. "Your minds function differently than ours. Less ordered, but more creative. You question, challenge, adapt. You see possibilities where we see only established patterns in Zalorian society." Sam learned roles were genetically predetermined. The social hierarchy had remained unchanged for millennia. Queens ruled, scientists researched, warriors protected. No one questioned their purpose. Innovation came through careful incremental improvements, not revolutionary thinking, Zara continued. I have proposed an alternative to withdrawal, a formal alliance between our worlds. Not subjugation, but partnership. This has never been done in Zalorian history. What's different about Earth? Sam asked. The Queen hesitated, her skin shifting to a color Sam had never seen before. Something almost luminescent, like emotion made visible among my kind. She began. Reproduction is strategic. Genetic material is selected for optimal traits. No personal attachment exists between donors, yet I have observed that humans form profound connections that transcend biological imperatives. Sam suddenly understood where the conversation was heading. His pulse quickened. Are you suggesting a union? Zara confirmed. Both diplomatic and personal, a joining of our species through us. The implications were staggering. A human and a Zalorian queen, cultures across Earth would have wildly different reactions to such a proposal. Religious groups, scientific communities, political factions. The same divisions that made humans unpredictable would be magnified by this unprecedented situation. And your people? Sam asked. How would they react? With shock, initially, Zara admitted. Then, calculation. Zalorian royalty has incorporated genetic diversity from other species before, though never with beings considered so technologically primitive. The Council would evaluate potential advantages. Sam felt a complex mix of emotions. Flattery that she would consider him, concern about becoming a political pawn, confusion about his own feelings for someone so fundamentally different from himself. And yes, attraction to her brilliant mind and direct manner. I need time to think, Sam said finally. This affects more than just us, Zara nodded. Something she had adopted from human gestures. I understand. Take the necessary time, but know that without a compelling reason for continued relations, my advisors will press for withdrawal. The next day, news of the Zalorians' possible departure leaked to human media. Global markets plummeted as hopes of advanced technology transfers faded. Politicians scrambled to present unified positions, while religious leaders debated the theological implications of extraterrestrial life. Sam avoided reporters and government officials alike, seeking quiet to sort through his thoughts. He found himself on a hiking trail miles from the facility. The natural surroundings helped clear his mind. What was he feeling? For Zara. Was it genuine attraction or fascination with the exotic? Could a human and a 9-foot-tall, 4-armed alien with color-changing skin truly connect on a personal level? And even if they could, what about children? Succession. The practical questions seemed endless. More importantly, was this proposal truly in humanity's best interest? Or was he being manipulated, used as a convenient diplomatic tool? Sam had no doubt the Zalorians could easily conquer Earth if they chose. Would his personal involvement prevent that, or simply delay inevitable subjugation? As dusk fell, Sam reached a decision. He would accept Zara's proposal, but with conditions. A true partnership meant equality. He would not simply be consort to an alien queen, but a genuine representative of human interests. The relationship would have meaning beyond politics. When he returned to the facility, General Holt intercepted him. Wilson, we need to talk. Not now. General Sam replied, I have an important meeting. She blocked his path. This isn't a request. The Joint Chiefs want direct communication with the Zalorian Military Command. We need to understand their capabilities. Sam looked at her evenly. General, with respect, you're still thinking like we're in conflict. We're standing at a crossroads between isolation and connection. I believe I can secure an alliance that protects Earth while allowing us to grow beyond our current limitations. How? Holt demanded. By becoming a bridge. Sam said simply. He found Zara in the diplomatic chamber, her royal guard standing at attention. Her skin showed anxious patterns, though she maintained regal composure. When she saw Sam enter, the patterns shifted toward hope. I've considered your proposal, Sam said formally. I accept on certain conditions. Zara tilted her head. Name them. Any union between us must be equal, he stated. Earth remains sovereign. Any technology shared must benefit both worlds. Knowledge exchange must flow in both directions. Reasonable. Zara replied. What else? Sam took a deep breath. Personal terms, I won't be just a consort. If we're to be together, it must be genuine. On my world, marriage is between equals who choose each other freely, not for politics. The queen's skin rippled with complicated emotions. Among my people, she said such. Personal considerations are foreign. Yet I find myself experiencing unfamiliar responses to your presence. Reactions that have no precedent. Is that a yes? Sam asked with a small smile. It is unusual, but acceptable. Zara confirmed. Their announcement shocked. Both worlds' Earth governments scrambled to understand the implications, while the Zalorian Council demanded explanations. Human religious groups debated whether souls could exist in alien forms. Cultural experts from both species rushed to establish appropriate ceremonial protocols through it all. Sam and Zara began the delicate process of building a personal relationship across the vast differences of their biology, culture, and experience. They established private time away from political demands, discovering shared interests in scientific problems, philosophical questions, and even certain forms of Earth music. What began as diplomacy evolved into something neither species had anticipated. A connection that transcended the practical concerns of interstellar relations. The true test, however, still awaited them. The question of children. The continuation of the royal line. The genetic future of two species, now linked by one unprecedented union. 1 year after their unprecedented union, Sam and Zara faced their greatest challenge. The Royal Zalorian Council had convened an emergency session regarding succession. Sam now lived primarily aboard the mothership, though he maintained his Earth residence for diplomatic functions. He had adapted to Zalorian gravity, food, and customs better than anyone expected. Still, he remained distinctly human amid the alien environment. The council chamber, intimidated with its vast scale and ancient symbols. 9 Zalorian elders sat in elevated positions, their skin patterns displaying formal authority patterns. Supreme Commander Kayla stood at attention, her military decorations gleaming under the chamber lights. Queen Zara entered with Sam at her side. Though he now wore Zalorian-style clothing adapted for human physiology, the contrast between them remained striking. She towered over him, her forearms and iridescent skin marking her as fundamentally different. Yet they moved together with practiced coordination. The head elder matron Vex spoke first. Your Majesty, the matter of succession can no longer be delayed. The royal bloodline must continue. Zara nodded, her skin maintaining calm diplomatic patterns. I am aware of my obligations to our people. We have consulted our genetic archives. Elder Nyx added, human DNA appears fundamentally incompatible with Zalorian reproduction. Our scientists see no viable path to natural offspring. Sam had expected this conclusion. Humans and Zalorians evolved on planets millions of light years apart. Their biological systems operated on completely different principles. Zalorians reproduced through a complex genetic transfer process that had no equivalent in human biology. The royal physician Dara stepped forward with formal precision. We have explored artificial methods without success, she reported. The chromosomal structures reject integration at the molecular level. A heavy silence fell over the chamber. Sam felt the weight of disappointment from Zara through their emotional bond. They had known the chances were minimal, but confirmation still hurt. Then I must select a Zalorian genetic donor. Zara stated, her skin darkening with reluctance, as is traditional when compatible mates are unavailable. Sam kept his expression neutral, though his emotions churned inside. They had discussed this possibility. The practical solution would be for Zara to reproduce with a genetically optimal Zalorian male while maintaining her personal relationship with Sam. It was logical, sensible, and completely alien to human concepts of marriage. He struggled with jealousy. Despite understanding the biological necessities, Elder Vex spoke again. Your human consort. Presence complicates traditional selection. The council recommends full separation during the reproductive cycle. That is unnecessary, Zara replied sharply. My personal union with the human representative remains valuable for diplomatic relations. Debate continued for hours, the council pushing for traditional approaches while Zara defended her unconventional choices. Sam observed the complex political currents, recognizing that beyond succession lay deeper questions about Zalorian cultural purity and adaptation to new influences. He represented change in a society that had remained stable for millennia. When the session finally concluded, Sam and Zara retired to their private chambers. Neither spoke immediately, both processing the implications of the council's decision. Sam broke the silence. "I understand the necessity. We knew this might happen." Zara turned to him, her skin showing patterns he had learned to recognize as emotional conflict. "Understanding does not eliminate feeling," she said. "My species separates reproduction from pair bonding. Yours does not. I have studied enough human culture to recognize this challenge." Her sensitivity to his feelings touched Sam deeply. Despite their differences, Zara had worked to understand human, emotional needs just as he had adapted to Zalorian customs. Their relationship existed in the space between worlds, constantly negotiating. The unfamiliar, "You are my chosen partner." Zara continued regardless of biological compatibility. "The successor to the throne will know you as parent alongside me." Sam nodded, grateful for her understanding, yet he couldn't help feeling that a critical connection between them would be missing without shared offspring. In human cultures, children often represented the physical embodiment of a couple's bond. That night, as they prepared for sleep, Sam received an urgent message from Earth. Dr. Linda Foster, the government scientist who had once asked him to spy on Zara, requested an immediate private meeting, claiming a breakthrough of significant importance. Sam debated whether to inform Zara, but decided to hear the scientist's claim. First, early the next morning, during Zara's council duties, he took a shuttle to the Earth research facility. Dr. Foster greeted him. "In a secure laboratory," her expression intense. "I believe we found a solution to your reproductive challenge," she said without preamble. Sam felt a surge of both hope and skepticism. "How the Zalorian scientists have been working on this problem for months. Our approach is different," the doctor explained. "We didn't try to make human and Zalorian DNA compatible. Instead, we created an entirely new genetic framework that can incorporate elements of both." She showed him complex molecular diagrams and simulation results. The technical details exceeded Sam's engineering background, but the concept was clear. They proposed creating an artificial chromosome structure that could serve as a bridge between the incompatible species. "It's essentially a third genetic type," Foster explained. "Neither human nor Zalorian, but capable of interfacing with both. The resulting offspring would be a true hybrid." "And you've tested this?" Sam asked. "In simulations?" "Yes," the doctor nodded. "But we need actual genetic material from both parents for the final protocols." The implications raced through Sam's mind. If it worked, it would solve the succession crisis while creating a truly unique being. A child of two worlds, the first of its kind. But he also recognized potential dangers. "Who else knows about this?" "Only my core team," Foster replied. "And now you. The government would want oversight, military control. I kept this research unofficial." "Why?" Sam asked suspiciously. Foster looked away briefly, then met his eyes. "I have a grandchild with a genetic disorder. Our medical science can't help her, but Zalorian biotechnology might." I hoped Sam understood the personal motivation that made the offer more credible than political manipulation. Still, the decision wasn't his alone. "I need to discuss this with Zara," he said. "This affects both our species." Foster nodded, but her expression remained urgent. "The window for implementation is narrow based on Zalorian reproductive cycles. If you're going to try this, it needs to be soon." Sam returned to the mothership with mixed emotions. Should he present this untested human solution to Zara when her own scientists had failed? Would she see it as presumptuous? Or would she welcome the possibility as he did? He found Zara in their chambers reviewing reports. Her skin brightened when she saw him, then shifted to concern as she sensed his emotional state. "Something troubles you," she observed. Sam took a deep breath and explained Dr. Foster's proposal, showing the data he'd been given. Zara listened intently, her scientific background allowing her to grasp concepts that Sam could only partially understand. "This approach is unconventional," she said finally. "Yet the theoretical framework appears sound." Her 6 eyes blinked in sequence. "Processing. I must consult with my physicians." The next day, the royal physician Dara examined the human research with professional skepticism. "The humans take risks we would not consider," she told Zara. "Their genetic manipulation lacks the refinement of our methods." However, Sam waited for the crucial assessment. The physician continued. "Their approach has merit precisely because it abandons conventional compatibility requirements. The artificial chromosomal framework could potentially succeed where our traditional methods have failed." "What are the risks?" Zara asked. Many, Dara admitted. "The offspring would be unprecedented. Its development, metabolism, and abilities impossible to predict. It might not survive or might develop in unexpected ways, or it might thrive," Sam suggested, "becoming something new. Something that represents the best of both worlds." Zara considered silently, her skin shifting through thoughtful patterns. Finally, she spoke. "Our species has evolved through careful selection for millennia. We value stability, predictability, control." She paused. "This proposal offers none of these things." Sam felt disappointment begin to form, but Zara continued. "Perhaps that is precisely what makes it valuable. In joining with humans, I chose an unexpected path. This would be its natural continuation. The implementation required weeks of preparation, human and Zalorian scientists working together to refine the process. Sam provided genetic material, while Zara underwent specialized treatments to prepare her reproductive system for the unprecedented procedure. Security remained tight with only essential personnel aware of the experiment. The day of the procedure, Sam waited outside the royal medical chamber, anxiety making it impossible to sit still. Hours passed with no word. Then finally Dara emerged, her skin showing cautiously optimistic patterns. "The initial phase is complete," she announced. "The artificial genetic framework has accepted both human and Zalorian components. Integration appears stable." "The Queen rests now in the chances of success?" Sam asked. The physician hesitated. "Unknown," she admitted. "We have entered uncharted territory." For the next several weeks, they monitored the pregnancy with constant scans and tests. The developing embryo showed stable signs, though its patterns of growth followed neither human nor Zalorian norms. The Royal Council received regular updates, maintaining formal support despite clear reservations about the hybrid experiment. Throughout this period, Earth's relationship with the Zalorians deepened. Technology exchanges began, carefully controlled but meaningful human adaptability complemented Zalorian precision, creating innovations neither species might have developed alone. Sam found himself constantly torn between two worlds, his concerns for Zara and their developing child balanced against his responsibilities to humanity. The personal and political remained inseparable, each decision carrying implications across species. What neither of them could predict was how their child would reshape both civilizations. The first true bridge between worlds, growing silently protected within the body of a queen who had dared to choose an unexpected path. Now for part 4, the royal physicians monitored Zara's pregnancy with unprecedented attention. As the first cross-species royal heir in Zalorian history, the development of the embryo generated both scientific fascination and cultural anxiety. The traditional gestation period for Zalorians lasted 4 Earth months, but the hybrid pregnancy progressed differently. Following neither human nor Zalorian patterns, Sam divided his time between diplomatic duties and supporting Zara. Human governments pressed him for information about Zalorian technology, while the Alien Council questioned his influence on their queen. He navigated these pressures while dealing with his own concerns about the safety of both Zara and their developing child. During the 5th month of pregnancy, Zara experienced sudden complications. Her skin fluctuated between distress patterns as the royal medical team rushed to stabilize her condition. Sam waited outside the chamber, feeling helpless. The genetic experiment they had undertaken carried unknown risks that now manifested in worrying symptoms. After several tense hours, Dara emerged, her professional composure intact but strain evident in her movements. The embryo produces hormones unfamiliar to Zalorian biology. She explained, "We have synthesized counteragents to restore balance." "Will Zara be all right?" Sam asked, his voice tight with worry. The physician hesitated. "The queen is strong, but this pregnancy taxes her systems in unprecedented ways. We must prepare for the possibility of what Sam pressed, that a choice may be required," Dara said quietly. Between the heir and the queen, the implications hit Sam like a physical blow. "No," he said firmly. "There's always another solution. Find it." When he was finally allowed to see Zara, she appeared weakened, her normally vibrant skin dulled. Her 6 eyes focused on him with effort, but determination showed in her expression. Sam knelt beside her bed, taking one of her hands. "I'm here," he said softly. "We're going to get through this." Zara touched his face with another hand. "I have reviewed the medical data," she said, her voice steady despite her condition. "Our child develops in unexpected ways. Its neural patterns show activity beyond normal parameters for either of our species. Is that causing the complications?" "Partially," she confirmed. "But there is more. The chromosomal bridge created by your scientists enables genetic expression from both lineages. Our child may possess capabilities from both species, perhaps beyond what either of us anticipated." Sam processed this information. The hybrid experiment had always carried unknowns, but the reality now seemed both miraculous and frightening. Were they creating something wonderful or dangerous? Something that might not fit in either world. Over the next weeks, Zara's condition stabilized. Through constant medical intervention, the pregnancy continued with careful monitoring. Earth scientists collaborated with Zalorian physicians, developing new treatments for the unique biological challenges. They made breakthroughs in genetic medicine that would benefit both species regardless of the pregnancy's outcome. During this period, planetary relations evolved as well. Limited cultural exchanges began with small groups of humans visiting the mothership, while Zalorian delegates toured Earth cities. The initial fear and suspicion gradually shifted toward cautious cooperation. Leaders on both sides recognized potential benefits, though significant distrust remained. Sam found unexpected support from General Holt, formerly one of his strongest critics. The military leader had revised her position after observing Zalorian interactions firsthand. "These aliens could have conquered us easily," she admitted during a private meeting. "Instead, they chose diplomacy. Your unorthodox approach may have saved countless lives." In the 7th month of pregnancy, another crisis emerged. Scans detected unusual energy patterns within the developing fetus readings that matched neither human nor Zalorian physiology. The medical team struggled to interpret the data. "It's generating energy signatures similar to our telepathic abilities," Dara explained to the Royal Council. "But amplified, structured differently. Could it be dangerous?" Elder Vex demanded. "Unknown," the physician admitted. "We have no reference point for this hybrid physiology." The council debated terminating the pregnancy as a security precaution. Arguments became heated, with traditional factions citing the risk to Zalorian genetic purity, while progressives emphasized the potential evolutionary advantages. The final decision rested with Zara as both queen and mother. Sam attended the critical council session, standing beside Zara's medical support unit. Her condition required constant monitoring, but she refused to delegate this decision. "Understand the concerns," Zara addressed the council, her voice weaker than normal, but her authority undiminished. "This pregnancy represents the unknown, the unprecedented, both frightening and wondrous." The traditional faction leader, Elder Nyx, spoke. "We have maintained our genetic lineage for countless generations, Your Majesty. Stability has ensured our dominance among the stars. This experiment threatens that foundation." Supreme Commander Kayla surprisingly countered. "Evolution occurs through adaptation, not stagnation. The humans survived on their world precisely because they embrace change. Perhaps this child represents necessary adaptation for our future." The debate continued for hours. Sam remained silent, recognizing that his perspective, as a human, would carry little weight in this Zalorian decision. But he stood firmly beside Zara, his presence a statement of solidarity. Finally, Zara raised her hand for silence. "The child lives," she declared. Her skin brightened with determination. "Patterns. We shall welcome this new being and learn what it may teach us about both our worlds." Preparations accelerated for the birth. The medical chamber was equipped with specialized technology to handle any contingency. Human doctors joined the Silurian medical team, bringing diverse approaches to potential complications.